So when you talk about the fats that are in health code, we did a really unique approach. I mean, we looked at a whole bunch of the keto shakes and the low carb, and it's a lot of like, it's got a bunch of MCT oil in it.
Yeah.
And typically one, maybe two sources of fats that we would deem to be good fats, but really incomplete. I mean, what I love about the formula you put together is that it's a full spectrum of fats. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, to my knowledge, we are literally the only ones who've ever done this. So the bulk of all fats that people get in their diet, almost, I say bulk, but it would basically be all of it, will be what's called long chain fats. And when I say long chain or short chain, which I will in a minute, it's basically the actual length of the molecule, how many carbons you have lined up. Almost all of the fats people eat are long chain fats. Those are fats that can be burned in the body as a fuel. They're also stored very readily. The body will happily store long chain fats if told to do so. If you're eating these fats and insulin is up, the body will gladly store those long chain fats. But then as we go across the spectrum, we come next to what's called the medium chain fats. The body has a hard time storing these fats, and the body very readily then burns them. And we focused on medium chain triglycerides because of their capacity for burning. They get used so readily by the body. And we included them by sprinkling in some MCT and coconut oil, which is the most natural source of medium chain fats. And then as we keep going, we included, very unique to my knowledge, short chain fats, including the short chain fats that come with from ghee and apple cider vinegar. And someone's thinking, well, apple cider vinegar isn't a fat. Yes, it is. It is, in fact, the shortest of all the fats. It's part of the magic of fermenting things. When you fermented a food, like apple cider vinegar or any vinegar is a fermented product, what's happened is bacteria have eaten all the sugars in whatever that liquid was, and it's produced these short-chain fatty acids as a metabolic consequence, a good one in this case. So we've included short-chain fats, which are burned very readily. There's no capacity for the body to store short-chain fats. We've included medium-chain fats, which beyond their ability to store readily, also have known antiviral, antibacterial properties. So there's a very real, perhaps immune benefit to these. And then the long-chain fats, which is itself a broad spectrum, but we've covered them all. And even on the very far end, we've included some fats from flaxseed, from milled flaxseed, because that is, of all the long-chain fats, the one that is the most readily burned. And indeed, a long-chain fat that is even metabolized by the brain to allow the brain to produce what's called ketones that the brain uses as a fuel of its own.